All right, good morning, second grade, and happy Thursday. So what we've been working on in class lately is two-digit subtraction with regrouping, which has proven to be a really hard skill. So we're going to go over a couple of strategies we've learned so far and kind of work these problems out using our unifix cubes. So I'm going to change the screen to look it down so you can follow along with what I do. So 1 second. Okay, so here is my table, and here's my first subtraction problem. I have 75 minus 62. So 75 minus 62. So what I've done here is created a number bond. So I have 75, which is my whole, and I have 62, which is one of my parts, which means I'm missing another part. And we know that subtraction starts with the whole, takes away a part, and we're left with the other part. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my unifix cubes that I have here. So if you're solving these with me, you can have these out, or you can be using anything that goes into groups of 10 at home. And if I'm starting with 75, I'm going to go ahead and pull out, I need 7 tens, oops, 7 tens, and 5 ones to make my whole. Okay, and so then the rest I'm going to leave in my bag so I don't get confused. So now I have 75 laying out. So that's like this top number here. It's the top of my number bond. So now I want to try and make this 62 from what I have here. So if I started in the tens, which a lot of us have been tempted to do in our subtraction before, I would need to move 6 of these tens, right? And then because I have 5 ones, I don't need to regroup in this problem. I have enough in the ones place to move on to my part. So now I have 62 over here, and anything else belongs down here. On my card, I know that my answer is 13, but I can look here and say 5 minus 2, I know is 3, and 7 minus 6, I know is 1. So this one didn't need regrouping, but I wanted to get you the procedure. So let's go on to one that does have regrouping. My second problem is 52 minus 27. Now if I'm thinking in my head about my little song, more on top, no need to stop, more on the floor, go next door to get 10 more, well, I can already see on my subtraction problem that 7 is more than 2, so I will need to regroup somehow. So let's go ahead and we're going to make our number. So I have 5 tens and 2 ones give me 52. So 5 tens and 2 ones. Well, I see here that this is going to be a problem. So if I'm going to try and make my first part, I'm just going to go ahead and try and make 27. So 27 has 2 tens from my 52, and then it has 7 ones. Well, up here I only have 2 ones. So what I'm going to need to do is take one of my tens and break it apart. So literally all I've done to that 10, I haven't changed my number, I still have 52 unifix cubes, but instead of being a rod, I just have 10 individual pieces. And now I know that I can take 7 away from 12. And on my card, I've just taken one of those 10s and put it over here. So I now have 12 of these unifix cubes and 4 rods. Okay? So now I'm going to take those 7 away. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And again, everything that's left over must be this other part. And if I count that up, I have 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So I know that these 2 parts will equal 52. So I can check my math on my card. 12 minus 7 is 5. And 4 minus 2 is 2. My answers line up. So the 2 parts of this problem were 27 and 25 equal 52 if I wanted to add. So let's do a third problem. So here in this subtraction problem, I have 78 minus 49. Once again, I'm going to start with more on top, no need to stop, more on the floor, go next door to get 10 more. So let's think. 8 minus 9. If I have 8 fingers out, I can't possibly take 9 away from this. So I'm going to need to do some regrouping. And regrouping just means looking at the number a different way. So I know that if I take 10, I'm not actually removing them from the situation. I'm just showing them in a different way. So let's start with our 78. So I need 7 tens. So here's my 7 tens, and then I need 8 ones. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here I have 78, all laid out, my sum, because my two parts should equal my sum. So one of my parts is 49. I've already established that I'm going to need to do some regrouping here. So let's go ahead and get the tens I know out of the way. So I'm going to move these 4 over here. Okay, well now I know I have 8. And even though it's really close to 9, I still can't take 9 away because I'll be missing that 1. So the only way I can solve it is by regrouping one of these tens. And I can't just take one off. That doesn't quite work. It has to be the whole 10 needs to come apart. Because, you know, the moment it's not 10 anymore, well, it can't be in the tens place. So now I have 18. And I know for sure that I can take 18 away. So now let's make my card over here match what I have on the table. I see that I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 rods. And I have 18 unifix cubes that are single in the ones place. So my rods are my tens, and I have 6 tens. Now I have 18 of my unifix cubes in the ones place. And now I can do this problem. I can do 18 minus 9. I can do 6 minus 4. So let's do my 18 minus 9. So I know that my blue was 8, so I'm just going to move my 8. And then I need one more to be 9. So anything left on top is now my other part. So these two together should still equal 78. But now I have my two parts. So my missing part was 10, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. And that makes a lot of sense. 29 makes a lot of sense because here's the other green that made this a 10. And so I know that 10 minus 1 will give me 9. So let's try it on our card. So 18 minus 9, that is a doubles fact. So it should be pretty easy for me to solve. So here I have 9. 6 minus 4, that would be 2. They're 2 apart. So now I have 29 as my answer. So go ahead at home and try some of these numbers. You can use any tool that you can make into groups of 10, whether you wanted to put pieces of paper into a bag as a group of 10, or you have some sort of unifix cube or Lego at home. You can solve these problems using this, or start with this and you can draw your tens and ones, you know, your longs and your dots. Okay. So I hope that this is helpful. Watch it as many times as you need to figure out and follow along. So I hope this is helpful, and I hope you have a fabulous Thursday.